After finishing up the welded hull Grant restoration late last year, Daryl and Jesse got stuck into their next project, the Panhard EBR-90 armoured car. These two vehicles were salvaged from a scrapyard in Normandy after serving as range targets for the past few decades, and were sold to the Australian Armour and Artillery Museum along with a future project. We were warned that they were in pretty rough shape, but we weren't quite prepared for this. After a thorough inspection, it was determined that there would only be enough parts between the two vehicles for one restoration. And while we would have liked to have made it into a running vehicle, it would have just taken too much time and too many resources away from other projects. So we decided on a static external cosmetic restoration for now, with scope to revisit it in the future. Don't be fooled, this project will be extremely challenging to bring it up to museum standard. So sit back, relax and enjoy this featurette of the Panhard EBR-90 armoured car restoration.
We'll start with the mud guards and straighten them all out, get them looking pretty. Once they're in pretty good condition, we'll put the wheels on.
Panel beating mud guards. That might be a good job for Al.
Oh, I reckon it'd be a great job for
them, but those ones
Yeah.
with the sledgehammer.
Even though these things have been sitting out in the range for, probably 15, 20 years, have a look at the hardened chrome surface here. That is absolutely brilliant. Not a spot of rust on it.
Wow.
The vehicle, when it came, was put in a container, and as you can see, it's fairly wide. So what they've done, they put on a couple of
Caster wheel
caster
things.
wheels that just weren't quite up to spec. One of them's had a big chunk cut out the side of it. So what we're figuring, we'd rather keep the more solid of the two, but we're just going to transfer the wheels across this one.
Okay, and the turret.
And the turret.
The turret basket's pretty mangled, but you reckon that might be salvageable?
Well, I think we've got to pull the turret out, so we'll pull it out, see what we can do with it. And once again, if we can straighten it up, we'll repair it and it'll stay within the vehicle for future restorations. This is what we're going to call the donor vehicle. As you can see, it's got the massive hole in the side of it. And this is what's left of the turret basket here we're just talking about. It's a bit mangled and bent, but this is the reason why we're not using this hull, because it's got this big blown out bit. Once these things have been blown up, they stretch, they tear. It's easier we stay with a proper hull. There's lots of little parts in here. That's a cover for one of those storage containers that's built into the mudguard.
Yep.
So hopefully there's 4 of them in there, but until we start digging, we won't know.
Turret basket, wheels off this one, and then...
Yeah, and as much of the internal components we can rescue and save, yeah.
Nice. Well, you got your work cut out for you, Daryl.
Well, never a dull moment in the Australian Armour and Artillery Museum.
The boys got both vehicles into the workshop and started on their first job, finding out what was usable, finding out what was fixable, and finding out what was scrap.
I've just been going through the mud guards that we currently have and just working out where they go on the vehicle. Going to try work out which of the parts that we can actually use. This one is off this vehicle, I'm almost certain. See there's yellow on the front, bit of blue. You can actually see they match.
Oh, that's it there?
Yeah.
Okay, so they come off this one?
They would have come off this one for sure. The front left-hand corner of the driver. That one there. This one here is the rear back corner. So some of the pieces are broken off, so they all join together and they all bolt together.
Yeah.
And you can see that they're not the full length that we need, so I'm not 100% sure if we've got every piece yet, but that's the corners. What we'll do is we'll pick them up and actually put them next to the vehicle. You've got the heavy part. You all right? Yep.
So those 2 storage boxes go here too.
So that goes literally just there. And that sits in here. Along here.
That's got to be the far side rear. See that pad? Just check the plan where that had that shape, that pad. One was rectangular and one was square.
Yeah, this is the driver's side front left-hand corner. This, no, they're the same.
Yeah, see that one's got the front far back corner?
It'd be front, that front back side.
Well, Jess, that one might be better than the one that's on there.
We might be able to just modify it maybe if we're lucky. This is all the way around. See, it's a bigger light fixture. There's also a light that gets mounted on the inside here, so that would also determine where the front is too. But yeah, they're pretty close, pretty similar, the front and the back.
Yeah.
It's like a light fixture is the only difference.
Piece goes in the middle where the exhaust runs up. They just bolt on with these funny little brackets actually.
There's nothing left.
That has seen better days.
Yeah, so that balance.
That's actually in really good shape though. The actual light fixture. 'Cause the
Can
light
we
fixture-
use that?
We might be able to, because the light fixture on one of these is all pushed in and smashed, I'm pretty sure.
Now it's time to dive into the donor vehicle and pull out all of the loose parts that were thrown in as part of the deal.
Well, that we want that to cover. We need to find another 3 of them. So that's the pile we're keeping. Yeah, we want that goes on the wheels.
That's for the seat. It's spring loaded, but this would probably fold down. One at the front, one in the rear, and then 2 in the turret basket. So,
Is that the same design?
no, it's different.
No, pretty much the same. Oh, different, slightly different shape. That's some of the side where it got blown in, look. Is that a bullet penetration through there? The leather, that's the copper jacket off the bullet, is it? And then it's blown a hole through there?
Big hole there. Man.
I think, I'm not 100% certain.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
Ah, that's one of the light brackets, we need that.
Oh, the light, yep.
Yep.
Yep, that's good.
Man, lucky.
We've got, I think there's another 3 or 4 in there. Look, these are.
Actually, that's
this is the best condition of anything in the whole lot.
So they're the stowage bin lids.
Yeah. So we need 4 of them. What we got 5 now, plus more in there.
Great.
That works really good. That almost looks like old stock, doesn't it?
It's almost too good to use on the tank.
They're left and right. Look. I wonder if it's a seat track or something, or we might be upside down. I don't know.
maybe.
Oh, yeah, that's
Pillow?
okay.
That's
Beautiful.
nice. Another one.
Another seat, but this one most likely won't use it.
Well, there's a nozzle. We're assuming that everything in here has come off this, out of this vehicle.
That might have.
So that's a fixed fire, you know, straight down onto the motor or somewhere. Is that part of the dash, or is it just lightning? Oh no, lightning holes, or is that part of the dash?
Might be.
We've got one that's got a dash in, haven't we? Not the other one.
Might be around the driver.
Here's your spotlight, mate. One of your lights.
Another one.
Oh, look at this. You'll need this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Everyone needs one of them.
Yeah, we know exactly what that is.
Yep. That's it.
Hey Jesse,
Yep.
tell the folks at home what it is.
It's a ice cream holder.
The baguette holder.
Yeah, baguette holder.
Oh, we've got the world's biggest collection of.
You've got heaps of these. We were worried we wouldn't have enough.
But wait, there's more.
Don't stop counting.
There's another one. This one. Oh. That one's good.
The step one.
No, is that another part of the light bracket? It still work.
Well, they look alright.
Yeah.
That's the winding mechanism.
Was.
Was. it's just sitting there. We want to put as much back in that's usable as we can, you know?
Yeah.
Like if some of this stuff's beyond it, well, it's beyond it. But if we can have a go at fixing it, we'll have a go at fixing it.
The boys have determined what parts they're going to use. Now they start the restoration process, beginning with panel beating the mudguards.
Well, we'll start on the worst, like on the worst bend, on the worst kink. So that's at the top here. So we'll heat here and probably pull here. Try to pull that out. Once we've got that out, then we can start, you know, working along, pulling it down, pulling it across here.
You try and do the one around the light first.
This is the start of a very long process. Metal that's been bent and twisted is extremely difficult to get back into its original shape, and there's not a single stowage bin or mudguard that isn't damaged in this way.
I think they're being held up by that. What we're going to do is put a bit of pressure on it, so it means both Jess and I can work on it at the same time. So we're just going to hook on a strap under here, clamp it on, and we'll come off a fixed point behind us. And that way we can keep tension on it as we heat it. One more hit. Don't go much more. Which way are you going to go?
I'm going to hit you. That's better.
It might have been a little bit ambitious trying to panel beat it while it was still on the vehicle, so the boys decide to take it off and work on it on the bench.
Keep spinning.
You got the hot end? Yep. So that's the angle there we want, running right through. You can see where it's all bent up here. So we need to try and flatten that out and then get that, take that curve there out. Right, so we've got all these strengthening ridges in it through here. So we'll end up flattening some of them out as we're trying to get it. Then we'll try and repress something into them later. Hey Al.
As a lot of you will know, Al is our master of sheet metal. His knowledge is invaluable when it comes to this sort of thing.
A bit higher. It's the curve there. It starts curving there.
Yeah.
So, but we'll never get it super straight. But yeah, we'll get it straight-ish.
I would use a smaller hammer now and just tap them down.
And try to work with a dolly from the other side.
Yeah, steady, yeah.
This is a good thing about having old people here. You know, he might have had a pet dinosaur, but he's got bloody good ideas. Yeah. Thanks, Al.
Thanks, Al.
leave all that vinyl stuff until we get the curve a bit better. What do you reckon?
Yeah. You're going to have to try and just tap it out once we get that folded up.
Just, if we put it up like that.
Yeah. I don't think we'll do it cold, Daryl.
Go on, have a go.
There we go.
Yeah, you can try, but
strong Daryl.
Yep, you've got that?
Yeah, I got it.
See, it's a big sharp crimp. Al's done a lot of his stuff, so he's advising we heat this up, flip it out, and that'll make it easier to work on the rest, flatten the rest. That's okay.
Much better.
Better than what it was.
Bloody oath.
We're just a little bit, see that crimp there, that's that other one. We'll hit that crimp there, and we should be able to flatten that out. So we can go flat there.
After a few days of hard panel beating, the mudguard went from this to this. It's no oil painting, but it is miles better than what it was. Meanwhile, Jesse's been working on the stowage bins.
Across the middle here, you can see it was all pushed in.
Yeah.
I've had to put it in our press and press it square. So the angle's out a little bit, but I'll fit it in there and just move it along. So I'll tack it in there and then pull it out, spread it, move along, spread it out, open it.
Daryl ended up combining two completely mangled mudguards to make this one. But to keep himself sane, he's also taken on a stowage bin of his own, as a bit of a change of scenery.
Check twice, cut once.
These vehicles have 4 lifting eyelets, but one of them has been torn off. Jesse's taking a break from his stowage box and is getting stuck into repairing this. While our first attempt at fixing something that was already mounted to the vehicle didn't quite work out, the boys are determined to have another crack at it. At first glance, this stowage bin doesn't look in too bad a condition, so it's a prime candidate for this new technique.
We do that?
Tear the turret off.
Yeah. I don't know if that's even going to go in there.
Young Jess or what?
Yeah.
And under there too, so yeah. There too. Yeah, there's one that. Take this off now and put it on here. And pull that one. If you just put the eyelet on there. You judge it from there. How far out?
There you go. A little bit more. Yeah.
I'll give it a hit here. No, it's not. Is it going to heat it up? Or?
It's not grabbed yet.
Yeah. It knows it wants to.
Working.
If you heated more in there, what do you reckon?
You can't really get to it, can you?
It was a valiant attempt, but it just doesn't quite do the trick.
Here we go. We'll just cut from here across, rip that off, and I'll straighten it and we'll re-weld it back on.
Yeah, like,
Oh, Daryl, it's okay.
you filming that?
Bit of work done on it, but
No.
it was worth a go.
Well, look where we got it.
We've come so far already.
We didn't really damage it more. It was
Yeah.
already damaged to start with, so
Yeah.
I'm feeling happy about it. Oh well.
So they whip it off and fix it up the old-fashioned way.
This one here, we've had to cut all of this out, and we've had to cut this corner out because just when we've pulled it out, it's pulled everything out of proportion and it's stretched it. So what we've done is we had another donor box that we've cut up into multiple pieces. This one's been cut, as you can see, but I'm using it, and I'll just add a piece in because we don't have another one. Slightly.
Not bad.
That's called winging it.
First go.
That was very lucky.
Oh, look at that. Beautiful.
much better.
Takes about a month, but the boys have finally finished the mudguards and stowage bins. These parts are completely unrecognisable from the twisted, broken bits of metal that we started with. At last, the boys can finally start working on something different, like the steering.
Even though it's a static, we want to be able to move it around in the museum. I've had to pull this unit out of the donor vehicle. I've taken 1 kilometre of copper tubing out. As you can see, this rack and pinion here is working okay, so we're pretty happy about that. We don't have the actual proper mount for the steering wheel, so we'll just have to make up a mount, put the steering wheel on it. That'll go on there, and we'll basically just have to weld it to the column here, because we've got no other way of making a spline. See, there's a spline here. So we've just got a firm fit, and we'll just tack weld it on there. We'll do what we need to make it operate. Well, these are the ball joints. It's basically a great deal of grease, actually.
A great deal of grease.
This part is actually inside the vehicle up to about here, and this part here is on the outside. That connects to another steering arm that comes off that point there, and they're all held on with little half clamps because of the ball joint. And the other one is mounted inside the steering unit. With, once again, you've got little half moon clamps that go around the ball joint, and then this tightens it all up.
It's high quality engineering and materials, but very, very complicated and fiddly.
Oh, she's heavy.
Get that on the big jobs.
You have your eggs this morning, Jess?
Eggs? I had my oats.
You had your oats?
Yeah.
Just watch your head. You're a ham? You're a...
Yep. I think it should be okay. It's not going anywhere. Just rather tight. Rather tight.
Goes on like that?
So you gotta feed that in and I gotta hold that, right?
Yeah.
In here.
This is your locking rings. They go on the shaft.
Yeah, so you're gonna poke the shaft in and I gotta put them on.
Yeah, that's got to go on first.
Yeah.
So it's got a taper bit there, and
Yeah.
that gives you the curve to lock around the ball joint.
Yeah.
That goes in and engages in those teeth into the...
In here.
Yeah, you'll feel it lock in, engage into something.
Yep.
Put that housing on there.
Yep. Yep. Stay there. God, I'm gonna hold this and push that in at the same time. Okay, so that first nut's on. Keep going. Yeah.
Right, so can you get a half moon on and then the other one on top?
Yeah, go in a bit. Push him in. Yeah.
Is it in going?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, hold on. I've got to line that spring up on the thing. Yep, can you line everything up? Oh, so just downstairs.
So close.
Yeah, I think you're right, Daryl.
Now for the final two connecting pivot arms.
This must be a part that wore pretty easy. It gets held in with 4 pins. So we've just got to drop those pins back in.
So that's where the ball joint goes.
That's it, yeah, that's where the ball joint
So
goes.
there'd be a lot of friction there.
Yeah, so must be a replaceable part, a wear part. So just put those pins back in. One more hidden in here. Alright, this is basically the pivot point for the front of the front steering. So this drops in. So it rotates in there. And now we join this ball joint into this cup here. And by doing that, we've got 2 half cups because you couldn't do it because of the ball, you wouldn't get anything over it. So they basically go around it. So you've got that flat edge there. So it'll go around basically like that and push in. I've just got to play around with it. That one's on. I'll drop in there. And basically it's just a matter. Hey Jess, I'll get you to wind the steering out towards us if you wouldn't mind. Other way? Yeah, can you go any more that way? Alright. Beautiful. This just goes up. Push this brake line out of the way. We just basically bring the two together. I can rotate that there. I just gotta make sure they line up.
It's called a love tap.
Yeah, love tap. I'd love to tap it harder, but I'm not allowed. Alright, that's a good sign.
She's biting.
He's biting.
I've got a biter.
I'll just gently pull this in by using the bolts. So space it on first. Basically, then there's a lock washer, same design, matches that, and then
Finishing touch.
I'll just have to get a spanner or something that'll tighten that up.
It's working. Yeah. Well, that'll make it a bit easier for when we drive it in.
Well, that's it.
Or tow it in, I should say.
Rightio, so
On to the next one.
just got to do that another 3 times and we're laughing.
Daryl said at the start of the build that he thought we could fix the turret basket up, but having a look at it now, well, I'm not so sure. Even before we're able to get it out, we have to cut it up a little bit, which isn't a promising start.
hopefully it should loosen off.
Hopefully.
How am I going to reach it? So that's what was holding it. I don't think it's usable. Just the state, it's too twisted and bent. You know, it'd be more work trying to fix that than making a brand new one. Got it out.
Might be a bit beyond repair, Daryl.
I'm hearing you.
Coming around to it.
We've done enough panel beating on this thing. I'll drag this out, you get the other bits out. Might have to lift it. Can we fix it?
Maybe not this one.
I was so keen at the start.
Well, now we can actually get to the turret ring. I'll look at taking the turret off now. So we've got the bolts here running around the top. This is the turret lock. Once we've got that off, we can determine if there's any movement in the turret race. It's not seized up or anything. If we can move it, then what we'll be able to do is spin it around and take out the bolts holding the race and keeping everything in one piece.
The whole unit.
The whole unit.
Turret ring,
turret ring, race, everything. If not, what we'll have to do is we'll have to take the actual turret off the race. So I'll be splitting the race apart, which we don't really want to do. We want to see if we can do it in one piece. Because it's meshed into that gear, it's just holding it.
Yeah.
That's what's holding in the spring. This will probably be spring loaded. It's been machined down, so it'd go into a little slot. I think that was it.
Oh, that was it.
There we go.
There it is.
Even though we got the turret lock out, we still weren't able to traverse the turret. So this means the traverse handle is locked. So Jesse's going to try and heat up its hinge point and swing the mechanism inwards, away from the turret ring.
Anything?
I feel like it's moved a little bit.
Hit your head. Ah. Ouch.
We were actually on this piece for quite a while, and in the end we just decided to cut the part of the hinge holding it. This is definitely not something we would do on a really rare World War II vehicle, but in this case, it'll be a lot easier and quicker to do it this way, and we can always revisit it later.
You okay?
Yep. Yeah, so that's what we thought. So you got your gear there. It's very similar to like the Grant one that we did.
Really?
Yep. Similar setup. Really? So there's a gear on the inside in here. This gear here meshes in. When you turn that with all the reductions, it turns that and allows you to turn the turret all the way around. So it's as we thought. This just must be. That's just how the casting is. It's quite thick actually. It'd be really heavy, this ring, just looking at it. Now what I'll do is I'll get a coffee bar and pop it in the hole.
Go push through it. Alright, you're gonna roll it. We might need to get a bulb in where we can. Just get a bulb in. Right. Let's start it. Keep going. Right, tighten them up so you can't pop off that. Yep.
The final thing we need from the donor vehicle is the turret. Jesse's done a lot of prep for this, so it should just lift off beautifully.
I'll just check out his hook. That side's lifted, close to you.
It's fine here.
There's another bolt. Oh no.
Another bolt, it's alright.
There's always just one more bolt. We're always on the lookout for turret rings for our projects. This won't be the last you see of this one.
It's alive.
It spins.
Just needs a bit of a tidy up. Should be good.
So we can use this on another project, Daryl?
Yeah, well, we're going to save this. We've got a couple of projects lined up that we need some turret rings. We can't talk about it just yet, but yeah, this will work in with one of them.
A curious feature of the Panhard EBR-90 are these four inner wheels that are raised for travelling along regular roads and are lowered for cross-country travel. We were lucky enough to get a full set, even though they were heavily damaged from their hard life on the range. We're not restoring the lowering and raising mechanism at the moment, so Jesse is just going to weld the swing arms in place for the time being.
So looking at the way that these wheels interlock and go into each other, you can see there's a left and a right.
That's that one?
Yeah,
And
that's that one.
That's that one there. So we can put that one on first. No, you better stop at that. We'll see. Might have to go in and up in under here, I don't know. Keep going.
You got a pretty big crawly on your neck. On your neck. Oh, it's alright.
Go on now. Come here.
Side shift back to John, Frank. Yeah?
Whoa, bit more.
Oh, just some more side shift again, or what do you want to do?
That's middle. There.
Just stay there for a second.
You want me to go down a little bit, Tyler, or?
Anyway, you want? Just put a washer on.
At long last, we're finally ready to put the turret on. Since there's no turret ring, Jesse's welded some mounts to attach it to. We've also put the original engine in the hull. It's just resting there for the moment, awaiting future restoration.
Yep.
And just like that, the AusArmour Panhard EBR-90 is ready to be taken away, sandblasted, primed and painted. This was a quick restoration, but it wasn't easy. The whole workshop crew had a hand in the restoration process at one time or another. Everyone prefers a running restoration, but these things took up a lot of space. The finished product is much better off in the museum, where it can be viewed and enjoyed by everyone, until we decide to revisit it down the track. Unfortunately, the steering system didn't function as well as we hoped it would, but it did make manoeuvring a little bit easier. completely transformed this wreck into an actual museum exhibit. Astonishing doesn't cut it. Their work on this is nothing short of miraculous. We hope you've enjoyed this little featurette. Join us next Wednesday for your weekly tank restoration fix. So until then, I'm Kurt from AusArmour, and I'll see you on the next one.